So let's be clear. We are a tribal nation. They want people who they find a kinship with to be loyal, and they get to decide what the parameters of that loyalty is. You can't bite the hand that feeds you and then get mad that they're angry. You can't say, I'm going to do something that the people who supported me for a long time don't like and then have a residency in Vegas.
Yep.
You can't do that and have an album. You can't do that and have a party or concert. I tell you what, here's the way I'll leave it. If MAGA can get mad at the people they thought were disloyal, surely niggas have the right to get mad at the people they think are disloyal. That's a little...
Hey, amen and God bless. So one thing that a lot of people that I've been noticing are really making a big conversation about is what Nelly, Rick Ross, Snoop, which I already covered, and it seems like it's still a open conversation. And what I'm starting to kind of see a lot of people argue about is what is subjectively true to people and what's objectively true to people. And things that are subjectively true to people, you know, their opinion, their perspectives on whatever the conversation is, you can't tell someone they're wrong if it's their opinion. You know, you can go back and forth and try to explain to them their flaws in their opinion, but that's just their perspective. Like, you can't tell someone they're wrong when it's subjectively true to them. That's different from things that are objectively. That's things that you can prove. Like, you can show the data, you can show the history, you can show the sources. That's things that you can prove. And if someone doesn't see that because, you know, they're emotional or they just don't want to see it, then that's a different story, okay? But what we're talking about when it comes to Rick Ross, Nelly, Snoop, Soulja Boy, I guess if that's still important. This is based on principle. This is something that I know not all black folks are a monolith and we all need to think alike and act alike and talk alike. I get that. But as a group of people, 13% of America, is some things we need to hold on principle. Okay? And here's just my definition of what this principle means. A moral or ethical standard that discourages an action because it goes against the shared values, belief, or cultural integrity of a community, even if the action might seem justifiable on a personal level. That's principle. I think majority of black folks need to understand and align in. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. You know what I'm saying? So let's real quick just listen to what Nelly has to say so we can have a better understanding of the conversation.
For everybody that supported, continue to support. So yeah, man, we just gonna rock out, man. You know, I feel honored to be here tonight. Again, my performance is definitely for the office. I feel honored that I've been asked. And yeah, man, I'm here to have a good time.
You said you're honored to perform. You joined the ranks of Frank Sinatra, Beyonce, and others who have performed at presidential balls. I guess, tell me about some of the backlash that you're facing for that. You've kind of brushed it off. There are some haters out there, but you brushed it off.
Yeah, I mean, I've been catching haters my whole career. You know what I mean? Like, I always try to think forward.
Okay, so let's just pause it right there. We'll take this one step at a time, okay? Once again, you can't use the term haters as a catch-all to all the hell that you're catching. Like, sometimes, yes, you can, hear a couple of sources or a couple of, what's being spoken behind the scene about you. Yeah, sometimes you can just chuck that up to people just hating that they're not on the level that you're at, or they're not, being asked to go to a event such as this. Like, I get that. But when it's the majority of black folks, for this conversation here, when it's the majority of black folks celebrities to non-celebrities, all walks of life within the black community is saying, hey, Nelly, something ain't right here. Something is a little off, and it just seems as if you're going against the culture. You're going against black people. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. So, once again, you can't just chuck it all up to, oh, people are just hating on me. Once again, you need to do some active listening to the criticism that people have for you, and then determine if it's just people hating or they're trying to, stand on some principle.
And I also try to trust in myself in a sense of when I truly believe that I'm doing what's right, and I truly believe that I have a plan to help get things done. You know what I mean? And from that instinct, even in the beginning, like I've been getting backlash since '04 when I decided I wanted to do a song with Tim McGraw. You know what I mean? When I decided in 2004, when it was kind of unheard of. Now you look at some of the artists that's come along as Shabuzi. If you look at...
So he's talking about Tim McGraw and doing kind of country-ish type of songs, which, we all know and love. And unless there's something controversial about Tim McGraw that I just don't know, I think he's missing the point here. I think either he's purposely pretending to miss the point or he's genuinely missing the point. Like, we're not saying, oh, you shouldn't be going to, even that might be a little, but like, the big deal isn't you're going to an event to perform and that's just controversial. It's who you're performing for and the crowd and what they represent. That is the question at hand. So once again, I'm not sure if he's missing it on purpose or if he's just flat out just ignorant to the political conversation and the critiquing that's going on within that conversation. I don't know.
What the Queen, Beyonce has been able to do with Cowboy Carter. I did it in '04 when people had a lot of words to say about it. And you would say that I was catching backlash then. But it was forward thinking because I always try to stay positive and think that what I'm doing is in the best interest of uniting.
Are you optimistic about President Trump's second term? Have you talked to him today after his remarks?
No, I haven't. He ain't called me yet. I hit him. He hit me early. He said he was going to hit back, but I was like...
Well, he is the president.
Yeah, he might be a little busy. But...
So, once again, like... I don't expect everybody to be political savvy or to really be in tune with every crazy thing that Trump says. And if he's not, tribute to that, then okay, cool. But I need people who are close around Nelly to be like, hey, this is what's going on. This is why people are calling you a sellout. This is why people saying that, you're bending the knee or whatever the case is, or you're just being selfish and you don't care about the black community when it comes to you chucking and jiving, you dancing, you tap dancing for these racist, bigoted people. It's something to that. But let's go ahead and listen to what Mr. D.L. Hughley has to say. And some people, once again, like when it comes to celebrities, and if you're in the Discord, we done already had this conversation. If you're not in the Discord, get in the Discord and join the conversation. But it's a fine line between celebrities knowing what they're talking about and just saying things just to say it. And that's kind of just with anyone in particular. But you can tell it's someone like a celebrity like DL who knows what they're talking about because you can see their history in always being consistent in their messaging and how deep they are in politics or with their community. Someone like a Cardi B who's only talking about politics once every 4 years? Yeah, I don't think so. But DL, every single day or every other day, he's always engaging in the political conversations. So this is someone I would say is credible to the conversation. Let's listen.
So of course, it was the 20th happened yesterday. It was Martin Luther King's birthday, and also the swearing in of the 47th president of the United States of America. And already the contortions to explain what we have seen are happening. We watched Elon Musk throw up twice what was a Nazi symbol, twice. And you had the ADL come out and say no, that they come out and defended it and poo-pooed and said it wasn't so. I tell you what, I will say this. It's interesting that a couple of months ago, if you said something, the very organization or one of the organizations, if you said something, anything positive, you could say Palestinians deserve the right to exist, and you were yelled down as an anti-Semite. But a man demonstrated a move twice that was clearly a Nazi. I tell you what, if Elon Musk did that in Germany, he'd have went to jail. Yep. If he did it in Austria, he'd have went to jail. If you do that at your job, you lose. And the only place you can make a Nazi salute and keep your job is the White House. Mm-hmm. But I'm watching people contort. Like I heard somebody say, well, I don't know why people are mad at entertainers. They're not mad at Biden and Obama. Biden and Obama swore an oath for the presidency of the United States. And that is to comport yourself in a way that uplifts the office, whether you like who's inherited it or not. The only person who hasn't lived up to that oath is Trump.
Now, to add upon that, and once again, we discussed this in the Discord. So just briefly, I would still expect more from President Obama, especially when he attended the funeral and he was sitting next to Trump. That right there wasn't a good look. I would expect Obama to understand where people are in this political conversation, and if Trump is a threat like you say he is, I don't need you sitting there trading LOLs with an individual like Trump who's embracing Nazism and embracing racism like he is. I understand what DL is saying, and I kind of do understand, like Obama and those, you know, like Biden. You made an oath, so you have to carry yourself above everyone else's standards. You got to do what I am not willing to do. I will not do something like that if I was president or not. So I do understand, like, you got to kind of do what other people wouldn't want to do. But you're going to catch some hell with that. So that's something you really got to make sure you're doing that's coming out of your own will. But, got you.
So you can say, well, you're not mad at them. That's like if you own a McDonald's, you can't change the recipe because you ain't happy with them. It's a franchise. It is what it is. You have signed on for this job, and that job entails you doing things you don't like, going to funerals, shaking hands, being cordial, and having a peaceful transfer of power. The only one who hasn't done it is Trump, and now he's the metric we set it by. That is called, they took a oath, and they lived up to their duties. They lived up to their oaths. And when it comes to what Snoop and Nelly and Rick Ross and Soulja Boy, they are entertainers. They can do what they want. I understand that. But you can't get mad at backlash. Yeah. Stop conflating them with Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and the wealthiest people in the world. Well, they did that. Those wealthy men, those wealthy white men, they bought in. You can't say they sold out. They bought in. They're going to get a direct benefit from their association with Trump. And they don't need anybody else. I don't know that Snoop or Nelly or Rick Ross or Soulja Boy can say that same thing. And stop telling me, well, they can do what they want. If MAGA can get upset, MAGA got so upset about people that it thought betrayed them, they wanted to kill them on 4 years ago. They stormed the Capitol to kill them. Hang Mike Pence. Hang Mike Pence. You remember that? I mean, that probably won't go in history books now, but that was a real thing. MAGA got upset with Liz Cheney. MAGA got upset with anybody who they thought betrayed them. Mm-hmm. And the betrayal could be just living up to your oath. So if that's because they thought you were one of them and you turned out to do something that there was an anathema to them. Black people can feel the same way.
Exactly.
They can feel the same way. You're entitled to do whatever you want.
Hey, he said it perfectly. We witness MAGA and Republicans do this for the past, maybe 8-10 years? If you do not align, if you are not on the same page with them, they will get you out the party. They're not going to ask you. They're not going to have these conversations. They're not going to want to hear your excuses. Either you get with it or you get lost. That's simple. You know, and I feel like as black folks here in America in 2025, we need to set standards. And I know that's gonna bring up a whole bunch of emotions and complaints and arguments. But why can't we? Just like going back to the principles. We allow individuals to do what they want just to make some money, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. If they say, hey, Snoop, can you do this for free? 9 times out of 10, we probably wouldn't have seen Snoop there. So at the end of the day, let's not play ourselves. They're doing it for the money. Don't sit here and lie. So if they're willing to do actions like this, breaking principle, and at the end of this, I'm gonna tell you the effects this will have against black people. But if we continue to just, hey, all right, just do what you want, and let Republicans capitalize off of your black skin being there, because trust me, they're running the headlines. This is going to be an excuse. Oh, Nelly, you know, we had all these black entertainers. That's leverage for them. We'll get into that though.
Want to do beyond recrimination, but I do think it's interesting that there were more black people genuflecting and rapping in front of him and performing for him than he will ever put in front of their cabinet. He'll never put them in the cabinet. And you ever notice you never hear them yell DEI when a black person is rapping, singing, dancing, jumping, or running? Because,
hey, once again, what is he lying about? What is he lying about? That, once again, I wasn't even in that mindset of even seeing the world like that. And this is why I love people who are like DL, man. Teach me something new. That's what I want. They will never cry and complain about an athlete, a singer, a rapper, some sort of entertainer as a DEI hire. But as soon as as black people try to get into a position of power, it doesn't matter your credentials. It doesn't matter your experience. Your DEI. And trust me, I done made plenty of segments about this. That is another slur that they craftedly made just for black folks. They don't say this about white people. They don't say this about Mexicans. They don't say this about Indians or Asians. If you listen, they only aim this to successful black people who are in a position of power. Hey, man, just do a little listening, you know, just a little bit, and you might catch on to something.
That's our province. They only say DEI when you encroach where white men should go. They only say DEI when you do something they think only they have the right to do. So it's never DEI when you're doing what you're supposed to do. When you're DJing and being Snoop and DJing a party, they ain't gonna get mad. That's what you're supposed to do. Try to lead, then it's DEI. Try to be a doctor or an airplane pilot, or try to be a president, or try to be a senator. Hear the calls of DEI. But not when you DJ and rap and dance and run. That's what they expect you to do. There were more black people who performed from him and genuflected in front of him yesterday than will ever be in his cabinet in any significant position. Even all the black people who calling him daddy now didn't get a cabinet. They didn't even get the secretary position of secretaries. So let's be clear. We are a tribal nation. They want people who they find a kinship with to be loyal, and they get to decide what the parameters of that loyalty is. You can't bite the hand that feeds you and then get mad that they're angry. You can't say, I'm going to do something that the people who supported me for a long time don't like and then have a residency in Vegas.
Yep.
You can't do that and have an album. You can't do that and have a party or concert. I tell you what, here's the way I'll leave it. If MAGA can get mad at the people they thought were disloyal, surely niggas have the right to get mad at the people they think are disloyal. That's a little...
Hey, amen and God bless. Oh my God, that was beautiful, man. Like, it is hard to find people like a DL Hughley. Like, that is literally a national treasure. Like, you are not gonna get that from a Cardi B. You're not gonna get that from whatever a Beyonce. No, that's a one of a kind right there. But let me just read a few quotes from you because I love my quotes. That's just how I do it. Malcolm X said, "A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything." Hey, let that sink in for a minute. Marcus Garvey, the black skin is not a badge of shame, but rather a glorious symbol of national greatness. And broken down, this principle suggests that aligning with individuals who demean the community's dignity is unacceptable. At some point, we have to understand that it's going to become a problem, because when majority of black Americans say that Trump is racist, and trust me, I done had plenty of these conversations, you will show proof of him literally saying, ish whole countries to black and brown countries around the world. Like, it's just so many examples, and their quickest defense is, well, if he's so racist, why did Snoop Dogg perform for him? Snoop is black, right? Oh, what about Nelly? Nelly likes Trump, so you saying Nelly likes a racist? Once again, people are giving their black skin as an excuse to defend or normalize racism just for a couple of dollars. And at some point, black folks, we need to get our together, and it is okay to have standards. I don't see nothing wrong with that. It is okay to have standards and have people live up to it, because that only affects all of us. Not just Nelly, not just Snoop. That affects all of us. And it kind of gives them a reason, the green light, to treat us the way however they want to. Because to them, it's not racist, because we got Snoop performing for Trump. And if that seems okay, then I guess racism doesn't exist, I guess, at that point. You see how that's kind of dangerous? But once again, hey, I'm just a YouTuber, I guess. But once again, guys, if you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, let me know in the comments down below, or hit that Discord button so me and you can have that one-on-one talk. And like always, let's have that conversation.